Robert?
Sir.
All right. Prior to our city council meeting this evening, we're going to have a very special presentation, and I would like to have all the members of the East High Lady Scarlets please come forward. Coach, come on up. We want everybody, we coaches, assistant coaches, we want the whole family up here. Come on, everybody.
We're behind the scenes.
No, but you guys have great shirts on. I want everybody to see it. Now, my part of this presentation will be very short, but we've got a couple of members of our city council back here who are former Scarlets, and we'd like to have them make a couple of statements, but this is going to be sort of a regular deal. First it's basketball, you guys come down here, and now it's softball. What's our next thing? Where are we going next?
Football.
Football.
Nice try. I just.
So, in recognition of that, I've got a proclamation here to read, but I want both of our council members, our former East High grads, to both step up and say a couple of words, because you guys had a great, great season, and we're all so proud of you. And Bob and Skip, why don't you guys say that?
Well, we're really happy that everybody could be here tonight. We got a great turnout, and we wanted to honor the east side of Des Moines, which also represent our total Des Moines area when they go to tournaments like this. So congratulations from the City Council, and thanks for being with us today. I had the pleasure of graduating from East a few years ago. Quite a bit, I guess, but
You had your 20-year ring.
yes, all right, yeah. So, okay, and thanks again for being here.
I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm a 1972 graduate of East High. Couldn't be prouder of you. Back-to-back championships in the ladies program. I imagine you've all got the guys here. Maybe you can whisper to them a little bit and say, come on, let's get some football and wrestling champions. But thanks for being here and thanks for everything you've done. I know you've put in a lot of time, a lot of hard work, and the whole city of Des Moines is exceptionally proud of you. Thank you.
I guess you should also thank the coaches, which I think the mayor's already done. So you've got a great group of coaches, and you know, it's a good start. Let's have continue us on, Bob. Each year you got a good returning group here. I know you only had just how many seniors? 4 seniors. So good. We're looking forward to another good year next year.
So we're starting a dynasty, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Year after year, all right. Well, here's our proclamation, and it reads, whereas in July 2011, the East High Lady Scarlets won the 2011 4A State Softball Championship with a record of 39-5. And whereas the East High Lady Scarlets have won this title twice in 5 years, this team and coaches have worked tirelessly to achieve this great record. Whereas the East High Lady Scarlets not only succeed in athletics, but also academically. 11 of their team members were designated as the National Fast Pitch Coaches Association Scholar Athlete Academic All-Americans. And whereas the Iowa Girls Coaches Association designated Coach Bob Lagore as the 4A Coach of the Year, and whereas the East High Lady Scarlets are pillars in our community, they not only bring pride and joy to the city of Des Moines as winners of the state softball championship, they also are truly caring individuals with their participation in various volunteer projects throughout the year. Now therefore, I, the Mayor of Des Moines, on behalf of the City Council and the citizens of the city of Des Moines, do hereby proclaim today, Monday, August 8, 2011, as the East High Lady Scarlets Day, and we wish to congratulate all of you on these great accomplishments and wish you continued success in the future. And thank you so much for coming down, and congratulations on a great season. Let's give it a round.
I just want to, on behalf of the East High community, thank you for inviting us down. Just quickly, everyone will remember the record and the championship. What I hope that everyone also remembers is that every one of these young women are really, really involved in their community in terms of volunteering for Race for the Cure, the Kiwanis Miracle League, Teammates for Life, and some of the other community service activities. So not only are they champions on the softball field, but 11 academic All-Americans, and every one of the girls that are before you have earned at least 50 hours of community service just this last academic year. So thank you.
That I would like to say to you as teammates, and you know, here we are, 2011. What a great season you guys had. And when you come back like Bob and Skip did for their 20-year reunions, this is something you're going to remember the rest of your lives. So, good luck, not only in your athletic career and the academic career, but you're going to be great leaders of this community. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
And that was great. I think somebody turned the microphone off, so hopefully they heard it. Yeah, should we get a group picture? We get the whole council walking down.
Yeah. We want in the girls' basketball.
I'd like to call to order the meeting in Des Moines Municipal Housing Agency Governing Board for August 8th. I'd like our clerk to take roll, please.
County.
Here.
Coleman.
Here.
Moore. Here. Greiss.
Here.
Mahaffey.
Here.
Hensley.
Here.
Meyer.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Right. Item 2 is approving a submission of the 2011 Section 8 Management Assessment Program SEMAP certification, board communication number 11-523. Is there anyone in the audience to speak on this? Seeing none, could we have a motion?
Move.
It's moved to approve. Is there any discussion by the board? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Item passes approving that submission. Item 3, could we have a motion to adjourn, please?
Move.
It's been moved. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. We now sit adjourned as the Municipal Housing Agency Governing Board. We will start the City Council meeting in about 5 minutes.
Go there. Catholic.
Ready for the state fair, Skip?
As ready as I can be. Oh boy. They got
You gonna be out there every day again?
think he is.
All right, everybody, before we start our Des Moines City Council meeting today for August 8th, we have a invocation that we're going to have our own City Council member, Bob Mahaffey, and for those of you that may have missed it a little earlier, we had a special presentation to the East High softball team, who were the Class 4A state softball champs for 2011, so we enjoyed presenting them. We may have had a little malfunction on our sound system earlier, but congratulations to them. And Councilmember Mahaffey, if everybody would like to participate, we'd ask you to stand at this time.
For tonight, I've selected for our invocation, a quote from Oprah Winfrey, and it comes out of the book Words of Wisdom for Life After Graduation by Jennifer Seelig. There's no such thing as failure. Mistakes happen in your life to bring your focus more clearly who you really are. Trials happen in your life. What really matters is how much truth you can bring to your life, how much integrity, how much generosity, how much forgiveness, and how much love. I wish heaven for you. I expect that you will do great work, that you will be great, and that your life will be blessed. God bless you all. Amen.
All right, we now bring to order our Des Moines City Council meeting for August 8th. I'll ask clerk to take roll, please.
County,
Here.
Coleman,
Here.
Moore, Greiss, Mahaffey,
Here.
Hensley,
Here.
Meyer.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Item 2 is a motion to approve the agenda as presented and/or as amended.
Move.
It's been moved.
Seven yes.
Item 3 is approving the consent agenda. Tonight, those are items 3 through 36, and these are routine items and will be enacted by a single roll call vote without separate discussion unless someone, either a member of the City Council or a member of the audience, asks one to be pulled for further discussion or clarification. Those items again this evening are items 3 through 36. Anybody have any items? Councilmember Meyer is asked to speak on 4F. And I will also say, for those of you who are anxiously awaiting some discussion on 4B, E, I, P, W, Z, CC, EE, and GG, those inspections, I understand, are incomplete and will be withdrawn till at least our next meeting. Anyone else, any items? Seeing none, could we have a motion for the balance?
Move.
Mr. Coleman?
Seven yes.
All right, item 4F. 4 is approving the alcoholic beverage license applications for the following. F is the Zombie Burger at 300 East Grand Avenue for a C liquor license. Councilmember Meyer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's my understanding that Zombie Burger plans to open before the next council meeting, so I move that we approve the liquor license pending approval of their permits. People are dying to get in.
Any discussion on that one? Or Zombie Burger?
Pull that line out.
You've been thinking about that all weekend, haven't you?
Seven yes.
All right, every other Monday, come on down. We're here. All right, item 37. That completes the consent agenda. Item 37 is a ordinance, second consideration on the vacation of a portion of Glendale Cemetery for the Franklin Field Senior Apartments LLLP. Council Communication number 11-519. A is the final consideration of the ordinance above. The waiver has been requested by the applicant and requires 6 votes. Is there anyone in the audience to discuss item 37? Yes.
I'm Dr. Addie, 3818 Pleasant Street, Des Moines, Iowa, 50312. I would not like to see you only hold 2 sessions on this particular thing. I think we need one more session because there is a considerable amount of interest in it. In addition, some folks have identified some other places that Mr. Halley Greiss called corridors, which would be perfect situations for the same kind of deal that we're doing in Glendale. One of which will be Evelyn Davis Park. The library is right there, the park is there, and a senior center is also there. So we'll be looking at other folks to come and help develop those also. And there'll be some further spots noted on the south side later on. We were also thinking maybe that the downtown sculpture park would be also nice to place a senior center. The library is there, although we don't have the senior center amenity, but we could put a nice housing development down there in that park, and there are nice restaurants and those kinds of things. So that's all I have to say today.
Thank you. Any other comments? Seeing none.
I am going to move this item. I've had very little dissenting opinion. I've had very positive comments, both for the project itself and what it could do for the area. So I'm going to go ahead and move this and also waive the third reading, subject to the condition that we discussed at the last reading, the proceeds going back to Glendale Cemetery.
Six yes, 1 no.
Okay, takes us to item 38, which is amending Chapter 118 of the Municipal Code regarding the collection procedures and preparation of assessment schedule for wastewater collection and treatment services, and to delegate to the Treasurer of the Des Moines Water Works Authority to forward unpaid charges to the County Treasurer. Council Communication number 11-507. A is the final consideration of the ordinance above. The waiver is requested by the Engineering Department, and it requires 6 votes. Is there anyone to speak on this ordinance? Seeing none, could we have a motion?
I would move the 38 and 38A.
7 yes.
39 is amending Chapter 114 of the Municipal Code regarding adding a commercial loading zone south side of Locust Street, east of 15th Street. Council Communication number 11-509. Anyone in the audience to speak on this item?
I'll move 39.
39 has been moved.
Seven yes.
Item 40 is a communication report from Chet Gwynn and Laura Douglas to speak regarding placing a sculpture on DMAC and IDOT property at 7th Street and 235 in keeping with the original I-235 landscape plan. Mr. Gwynn and Ms. Douglas.
My name is Chet Gwynn, and I reside at 1041 8th Street, Old Fire Station number 4. And I'm speaking on behalf of the Iowa Peace Monument Committee and the DMAC Urban Campus. Present with us is the Provost, Laura Douglas, and the artist-sculptor, Ron Denzale. And they will not be speaking, but are available to answer any questions you may have. We are here to satisfy a request by State Engineer Scott Dockstader that he receive assurance from the City of Des Moines that there is support for providing an easement on a very small portion of state property at the intersection of 7th Street and I-235 for placing a sculpture. Now, this is the area we're talking about, 7th Street coming down here, and this is the approach to I-235 then. Buildings 2 and 3 are a portion of the DMAC campus. This is fire station number 4, and the red line that you see here is the boundary between, officially, between DMAC and a state property. In fact, of course, DMAC maintains that property, just as I maintain all of the property over here, the landscaping, the approach to my garage, this driveway, all of that is on state property. And what we're wanting to do is to place a sculpture at this point here. Now, we could put it at all on DMAC property, but the ideal location, we think, is this area. So that's what we're, and the state engineer, Scott Dykstra, has visited the site. He supports the proposal and is ready to grant the easement once he's assured that his action will have the support of city officials. Some history. In 1999, when the new I-235 was being proposed, public workshops were sponsored by the Department of Transportation to share the concept of a, quote, freeway worth boasting about, unquote. Imaginations ran wild with the description of a linear parkway with artwork, sculpture, and color to reflect unique neighborhood characteristics. And nothing is more unique to the near north side of neighborhood than DMAC's urban campus, with a current enrollment of about 7,200 students, about equal to the combined enrollments of Drake University and Grandview University. The current DMAC location, bordered by University Avenue on the north and I-235 on the south, celebrated the 30th anniversary last year. The student body consists of many races, nationalities, and ages. It's a melting pot of humanity and a microcosm of humans striving for a better life, for a world of understanding and peace. I-235 has been open for traffic now for several years. The dream of artwork and sculpture has yet to take form. DMAC and the Iowa Peace Monument Committee are ready to be the first to take action. The subject of the sculpture will be of local and universal significance. On April 10th of this year, in its Roses and Thistles feature, the Des Moines Register awarded a rose to the state of Iowa for its ranking as number 9 in the nation on the annual Global Peace Index, and he commented that perhaps it is this state's historic ties to the earth that the people of Iowa have an innate expectation of harmony with nature and each other. Just going to show the sculpture here. Our artist, Ron Dinsdale, is a native Iowan who personifies harmony with nature and each other. He explains, growing up on the farm is the basis for my way of life, my love of nature and wildlife. I always felt at ease while in nature's presence. I would watch the turtle doves soar through the air, listen to their soft cooing call, and feel an inner sense of freedom and peace from the external. The 3 sculptured doves, forever turning, symbolize the freedom and rights we cherish. Now, rather than taking more time, let's just deal with your questions.
Is that actually a model of the?
Yeah, this is a model of it.
And what would be the actual dimensions? You can just leave it there because I know it's heavy.
Ron, dimensions.
The actual dimensions, and I have the
Here, let's put it on here so I'll put it up there for him. The actual dimensions, this portion of stone ordered here will be a little over 10 foot tall. It'll be approximately 50 inches in width and 44 inches in depth. The stone itself will be weigh approximately 9.5 to 10 ton, and that's the stone is coming from Bedford, Indiana, and it's a high quality sculpture block. So it's the same stone we're using, they use in the Iowa State Capitol building, and it's one that's prominently used in all architectural structures. So.
Is it limestone or what is it?
It's a limestone, yes.
Okay.
Bedford, Indiana limestone.
Will the base be a couple feet tall too?
The base will be approximately 5 foot tall, and I'll have a 42 to 48 inch footing below the frost line, and the organization also wants me to put about 3 foot above ground that will be mounted. So this piece here will be approximately 15, 16 foot tall, plus the extra 3 foot above. So it'll be an impressive piece that'll be easily seen from that 7th and Day Street.
Have you done all the work on the soil quality and easements that's in the area?
They have done some work. The DMAC people have done some work on that, yes.
Who will ultimately own this, and who will have the financial responsibility for maintenance and insurance? Because it's going to be at an intersection that could have some traffic issues.
The DMAC will own it, maintain it. Okay. They're doing the landscaping, the lighting of it for night's vision.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you.
We hope this starts a movement. Other neighborhoods will do it so that this interstate becomes known as a place for art, sculpture.
Great, Jeff.
I'll go ahead and move that we, as a city, grant the letter of support or approval that you need. I'm told that we have the ability to do this on this property. Is that correct?
This is
legally?
Hensley, council members. I believe the request is simply a letter of support from the mayor and council to IDOT. I think that would meet the terms that Mr. Gwynn.
I might interrupt. I apologize. I got a call from Scott Dockstader, and it is as you have outlined it. It's a letter showing that we are supportive, and that obviously the DMAC and the Iowa Peace Monument Committee is going to foot the bill on it and maintain it. So if it's okay, we'll, on your motion, move it forward.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you for starting us down the road to getting that freeway beautified.
Comment. Isn't it wonderful to see the trees coming down and trimmed up in Mountain Plaza? Signs of progress.
All right.
Seven yes.
All right. It's 10 minutes till 5. We will skip ahead to item 51, which is approving the extension of the intergovernmental 28E agreement with Metro Waste Authority and the cities of West Des Moines, Urbandale, Johnston, Clive, Windsor Heights, Waukee, Grimes, and Pleasant Hill for the lease purchase of the Metropolitan Salt Storage Facility through June 30, 2013. Council Communication number 11-533. Anyone here to discuss this item? Not a lot of discussion. Could we have a motion?
I'll move.
Been moved.
Seven yes.
Item 52 is on an agreement for sharing of gaming revenue with Polk County and Prairie Meadows. Council Communication number 11-521. Anyone here to discuss that item?
Mayor, I had some comments.
Please.
Trying to get to the... 8 years ago, we passed this agreement with the cooperation of the Polk County Board of Supervisors Prairie Meadows. And I wanted to especially thank Rick Clark and most especially Jeff Lester that did most of the document drafting for the new agreement. It's, I think, pretty remarkable. You know, 8 years ago when we did this the first time, we had a lot of companies that were coming to Des Moines asking us if we would consider partnering with them to build a casino downtown or along the river or somewhere in town and to compete with Prairie Meadows. So we had that leverage. We had the leverage of a pending vote, a referendum of the citizens of Des Moines. We had, we had state law that was on our side and that upcoming referendum that gave us a lot of leverage. Well, if you fast forward 8 years, we don't really have as much leverage as we did last time. They don't have to go back out for a referendum. We've basically eliminated through zoning the chance of a casino in a lot of the areas of the city where people would be interested in building them. Nonetheless, both Prairie Meadows and Polk County very much wanted to continue this third-party arrangement, I think, because we've spent the money really wisely. Over the last 8 years, we've averaged about $5 million a year. Mayor County, when he was on the city council before he was mayor, kind of led our negotiations, and it started at 3, worked its way up from there, $3 million a year. And I just feel really good about it. I was fortunate to watch Polk County and Prairie Meadows work with us on this. I do want to read one part of it, which is part of the agreement we passed. Whereas the city has consistently spent the monies previously received from Prairie Meadows and Polk County in street and bridge maintenance and reconstruction projects and intends that money from this agreement to be similarly earmarked for street and bridge maintenance and reconstruction projects and other purposes necessary for the provision of essential services and development within the city. You know, I'd like to think that even with growing resources, I think our average of the next year will be higher than the average of the last 8 years, that we'd continue to spend that money on bridges and roads. That comes back through the budget process. But I also know that with the downtown, you know, what do we call it, reassessment, state laws that are, you know, constantly being debated. I mean, I do think that the growing amount that we have from here should be part of a little bit of city debate and exactly how we spend it. I look at Southridge or East 14th Street and just want to make sure that we have monies available to help with some of the critical projects that could help our neighborhoods, economic development, other things. I'm not suggesting we have any motion right now, but I do think that as we get to the budget, we should get Rick's input and recommendation on how we spend this in the future.
All right. Any other comments, questions, or how about a motion?
I will move it, and I'll refer my comments and the direction for Rick to kind of consider this as part of the budget for, just as the agreement says, for roads, bridges, maintenance, reconstruction, and other purposes for essential services and development.
Seven yes.
We have a motion to recess as city council and convene as the Board of Health. Move. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We now sit as the Board of Health. Item 1 is approving the legal department to proceed with a court action seeking authority to abate the public nuisance at the following locations. There was one item A, which was 3711 4th Street, a main structure and a garage that has been withdrawn. Item B is 2009 East 12th Street, which is a garage structure, and ask if there's anybody in the audience to speak on this item. Seeing none, could we have a motion by a member of the board?
Move.
It's been moved. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed, the same. Item passes. Could we have a motion to adjourn? Move. As Board of Health and reconvene as a city council? Been moved. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. We sit as the city council. I think, is Rusty Smith in the audience? Rusty, you're over here. Why don't we go ahead and start, and we will not probably vote on this item until after the hour, but let's get started on item 41 at 4:58. It's on the appeal of Rusty Smith, 126 East Jackson Avenue, the administrative hearing officer's decision declaring his dog as dangerous. Rusty?
I just have a couple of statements I'd like to read from myself and also from...
Rusty, just because this is a hearing, we'll ask you to give your name and address.
Sorry, Rusty James Smith, 126 East Jackson, Des Moines, Iowa, 50315.
All right, thank you very much.
The issue at hand here is my pet Siberian Husky, 4.5 years old. Is he a dangerous animal or not? The city of Des Moines, under their definition, has declared him as such. I don't believe he is. He is still a puppy that needs additional training, as I'm prepared to do. I've taught him several things. He is very obedient under my command. Unfortunately, I allowed others to be under their authority, for him to be under their authority. Basically, he has good manners, and he does have human behaviors and characteristics. Even though he is a very smart and loving animal and still trainable to correct his bad behaviors, the city has ordered him to be put to death. I feel this is very harsh and cruel punishment for him and myself for what he did. All he was doing is protecting what was his treat, and himself, not knowing what these strangers were going to do to him. Twice someone invaded his space, just as we all have as humans, and twice he was approached by strangers when no one was around. He can't be held responsible for his actions in situations as these. All I can do is beg the court to spare his life, allow me to continue training him. I'm sure ARL employees know him by now and know he is not vicious. Please take time to review his behavior while he has been locked up, just like the courts would do to prisoners of crime. Please consider the circumstances. Please consider my well-being, as he has helped me through some bad times. Please reconsider my boy's future. All I can do is give you my word. I will address this issue the best I can. I can start by using a muzzle whenever we leave the house. I just beg the court to reconsider putting him to death. I've also got a statement by the office manager of UCS. She also was in control of my dog's while he was receiving a treat from her. Whiskers belongs to a man named Rusty who has problems with depression and lives alone.
Hold on one second.
Before you proceed, the council is limited under the city code to reviewing only what happened and only the evidence that was provided to the hearing officer. Any additional information or statements, you're not permitted to provide additional evidence or statements to the council at this point in time. You can make argument to the council about what's in the record as you've done, but you're not permitted to provide, and the council is not permitted to consider.
All I've got to say then is that
thank you.
Under the circumstances and the situations that he was under, I don't feel that he's a dangerous animal as they have deemed him to be.
All right. Thank you very much. Sergeant Rodabaugh.
Kind of a summary of what happened on July 4th. Mr. Smith's dog was at a nearby convenience store. Somebody put their hand out to let the dog sniff it, and it bit the finger of the person. Same thing on June 13th, 2011. In this case, the gentleman jumped back and the dog bit him in the chest. On February 11th, 2011, somebody put their hand out, let the dog sniff it, it bit their hand. On July 28th, 2010, the same thing. I thought long and hard about this dangerous animal declaration. I thought about declaring the dog vicious, but that still would allow Mr. Smith to take the dog to a business on a leash and let everybody have contact with it. And is bite number 5 the appropriate thing? Bite number 6, if we have a child stick their hand out to let the dog sniff it, is that appropriate to allow that to happen? So, like I said, I thought long and hard about what's best for public safety of Mr. Smith's neighbors, anybody else that comes into contact with this dog, and that's what led us to be here.
Any questions here by anybody to the sergeant regarding the facts relating to this case? Sergeant, thank you.
I would make a motion to affirm the administrative judge's ruling.
I'm hesitantly going to vote for this because, 4 bites, and like Sergeant says, if he gets a child, we really could have a major problem there.
I would add to that I too am voting for it, but I wish it hadn't come to this point. It happened in such a short period of time that it's unfortunate that it has to get to this level. But I just couldn't live with myself if something happened to a kid or something.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
6 yes.
Okay, takes us on to item 42, the vacation and conveyance of a portion of the Waveland Golf property to Russell D. Parks in exchange for a comparable parcel of land adjoining Cummins Woods, and to continue to August 29th, 2011 at 5 p.m. Council Communication number 11-524. So the motion really is to continue again this to the 29th. Is there anybody here that would like to make a statement? Seeing none, the item's been moved.
Seven yes.
Item 43, on the intent to acquire property for the municipal services and authorize the acquisition of necessary property interests from affected property owners for the Municipal Service Center, Phase 1, Council Communication number 11-527. Anyone in the audience to speak to this item?
I'll move.
Item's been moved.
Seven yes.
Item 44, a proposed lease of city-owned property under the Guthrie Avenue Viaduct and adjacent to 2300 Delaware Avenue to Des Moines Bolt Supply, Inc. for $8,500. Council Communication number 11-526. Anyone in the audience to speak to this item?
I think this is great to get some revenue off the land that's under the bridge that nobody else probably wants to use, but it is valuable to them. So I think it's great for our city to do that.
Eliminates the cost for our maintenance for us as well.
Right.
All right, item's been moved.
Seven yes.
Item 45, on the conveyance of overhead and underground electric line easements on city-owned properties to Mid-American Energy Company in conjunction with the Fire Department Training Logistics Facility for $1 and to continue to August 29th, 2011 at 5 p.m. Anyone that came down this evening to speak to this item?
I'll move 45.
All right.
Seven yes.
Item 46, 2011, parking lot ADA modifications, a resolution improving the plan specifications, form of contract documents, engineer's estimate, and designating the lowest responsible bidder as Grimes Asphalt and Paving Corp., Kurt Rasmussen, President, $76,865. Council Communication number 11-516. A is approving the contract and bond and the permission to sublet. Is there anyone in the audience to speak to this item?
Move 46.
46 has been moved.
Seven yes.
Item 47, on a 63rd Street Trail Connector, Railroad Avenue to Tyler Avenue, resolution improving the plan specifications, form of contract documents, engineer's estimate, and designating the lowest responsible bidder as Jasper Construction Services, Inc., Stephen J. Rhodes, President, $130,620. Council Communication number 11-515. A is approving the contract and bond and permission to sublet. Is there anyone in the audience to speak to this item?
Move 47, 47A.
Six yes.
48, the 2011 ADA Sidewalk Ramp Program, Contract 2, the resolution approving the plan, specifications, form of contract documents, engineer's estimate, and designating the lowest responsible bidder as MPS Engineers, PC. Umish G. Chitty, President of $448,000. Council Communication number 11-517. A is approving the contract and bond and permission to sublet.
Move. Include A.
Okay. Is this a local contractor? I just clarification. Urbandale.
Six yes.
Item 49, in the Locust Street Streetscape Repairs, resolution approving the plan, specifications, form of contract documents, engineer's estimate, designating the lowest responsible bidder is Jasper Construction Services, Inc., Stephen J. Rhodes, President, $122,250. Council Communication number 11-513. A is approving the contract and the bond and permission to sublet. Anyone in the audience to speak to this item? Seeing none.
Brian.
Move.
Mayor?
Yep.
I'd like to point out this is another case where the streetscape was designed by an LA that didn't even live in the Midwest. And once again, our residents are standing under the arch. And I think this is one reason why whenever we hire somebody from the outside, we ought to think long and hard about it, because the ramifications are not good.
Are you saying the streetscape repairs?
Yes. A lot of this is due to frost heaving and.
You're not talking about the repairs. What you're talking about is the original
Yeah, I'm talking
construction.
about the original one. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the original LA came from Boston, and I sat in on the meetings, and no matter what staff told the guy, he laughed at us, and we didn't know anything.
Bob.
Seven yes.
Item 50 is on the demolition of 717 Grand Avenue, former YWCA. A resolution improving the plans, specifications, form of contract documents, engineer's estimate, and designating the lowest responsible bidder is Dorr and Associates Contracting, Inc., Arthur M. Dorr, President, $1,033,200. Council Communication number 11-514 is approving the contract and the bond and permission to sublet. Is there anyone in the audience to speak on this item?
Mr. Mayor.
Yep.
I'm going to move item 5050A, but I guess I'd just like to ask the city manager to get back to us. We had talked when we started the approval process about a plan, working with the area stakeholders down there and developing a plan. This bid is coming in, it's very attractive, so that's good news, but it also leaves the basement in place. And as we discussed earlier today, it won't be as neat and clean as what we would like it to be. I think it just underscores the significance on moving this forward as quickly as possible to get future developers to come and look. We had such great success with the Des Moines building, where we have a great project that's going forward. I'd like to see us have the same type of process with this land and taking into account the garage as well.
I would like to, Mrs. Hensley, make everybody aware that it's my understanding that next meeting, we've got a developer's proposal coming forward that includes that piece of property as well as the parking ramp, and which would include the demolition of all those adjacent pieces, and wonder if it wouldn't make some sense to at least listen to their proposal and see where we go and whether or not it becomes a whole public process or not. We would make the decision at that time to then open it up for others to look at it, or have a developer initiated, but at any rate, being much of it or all of it a public ownership of the properties, we would be required to have sort of an open RFP, it's my understanding, Mr. Manager. So that'd be my hesitancy to move forward at this moment with this demolition.
If I could, and Frank, you and I talked about this before the council meeting. I understand that it's the same developer that's coming forward that has, I think, talked to several of us at the council table. I don't know who all he's talked to, but based upon the conversation and the information he provided to me and follow-up that I had an opportunity to do with the individuals that he actually discussed, that he had had discussions with, he had not had those discussions, and I don't think that he's got the wherewithal to actually make a project move forward. I'm happy to listen to it and to take it into account, but I think we need to move forward because based upon that meeting with him in May, he was ready to start digging this fall, and he hasn't even come back, and I don't think he's met with the staff anymore. Is that correct, Rick?
I've not met with, I met with him once, but not since then.
So I don't see that he's got a great track record on being able to follow through. So I think I would like to see us move forward on this. If he wants to come forward, he can come forward just as any other developer would be able to come forward.
Yep.
Mr. Mayor and council members, this is a terrific piece of property when you take into account that the city owns the parking garage next to it. As well, that parking garage is getting towards the end of its useful life. It still has a few years left by all rights, but clearly at some point, this property that you're looking at this evening, as well as the garage, will represent a wonderful development opportunity for the city, and we'd be more than happy, as you've suggested here tonight, and as you did previously, to look at some development concepts and aggressively pursue the development of the property. I recommend to you that you proceed with this demolition tonight. I understand the virtue that might be there if you wait. The concern I have is one that perhaps the city engineer could address more accurately than I can, but in brief, it is that you've gone through 2 bidding processes here. The price that we had on this particular bid is a good price, and there is a schedule that is important on this, that if there's additional delay in awarding contract, then it does put the contractor in some jeopardy of completing the work within the time frame that was originally pledged. So I think it's important to proceed with this, but I also recognize and acknowledge both the need to move aggressively in terms of looking at the planning concept for the property, and with respect to your comment, Mr. Mayor, I believe that we should keep our door open to the developer that you're talking to and entertain his request and see what we can do to accommodate his development of the property as well. So I think we should pursue all those things. However, I do think it is appropriate to proceed with the action that's on your agenda this evening.
All right. Any other discussion?
Five yes, 2 no.
All right, that brings us to the end of the hearings at 5:17. With no further items on the agenda, I'd like to have a motion to adjourn.
Wow.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Enthusiastic guy.
Won't ask for any dissensions. Oh, wait. For those of you that are listening and watching,
I do the trails with mine.
Don, you could correct me if I'm not right here, but we're opening our dog park. This will be the largest dog park in our metropolitan area, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
At least in Des Moines.
Okay, the longest. All right, it's going to be the large. Let me correct it. This is the largest dog park in Des Moines, and you can pick up your dog park permits. I think Councilmember Meyer and I each have picked up ours. So we urge all of our citizens to step forward and get your passes to the opening of our first Des Moines Dog Park, and the next one is scheduled to be open. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. We are adjourned.
Excellent.
So right now.